Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into the Gibeonite deception, the anatomy of an ancient Khan. We're going to break down this classic story of diplomacy, deception, and honestly, pure survival straight out of Joshua chapter 9. It is literally one of history's oldest recorded Khans.
So, picture this. You're an ancient Canaanite, and you've just gotten word that Joshua and the Israelite army completely leveled the fortress cities of Jericho and wiped them off the map. This unstoppable force is marching right through your backyard, and they're taking 0 prisoners. The big question is, how do you survive that? Well, when a military juggernaut is right at your doorstep, fighting is basically a death sentence. Sometimes your absolute best defense is just a brilliant, highly coordinated scam. And that's exactly the playbook the people of Gibeon decided to use. Okay, phase 1, a looming threat, fear and strategy in Canaan. Let's look at how the region reacted to this existential crisis. You really see 2 wildly different approaches here. On one hand, you've got the regional heavyweights, the Hittites, Amorites, and Canaanites, banding together to fight Joshua head-on. But the Gibeonites? They zagged. The text actually says they decided to work wily. They used their wits and opted to play dress-up, pretending to be foreign ambassadors. Which brings us to phase 2, the ultimate disguise, staging the perfect con. If you're going to pull off a diplomatic heist, your cover story has to be completely airtight.
And these guys didn't just spin a good yarn. They went full method acting. We're talking old ratty sacks on their donkeys, torn up and patched wineskins, clouded, meaning patched up shoes, and completely worn out clothes. The absolute kicker? Dry, crumbly, moldy bread. They completely sold the illusion that they'd been trekking through the desert for grueling months.
The sheer audacity of this is just incredible. The lie was so dramatic. Oh, look at this bread. It was piping hot when we left our houses in a far country. But the reality? They lived right next door. They were literally immediate neighbors, terrified they were next on the chopping block. So, armed with this ridiculous disguise, they walk right up to Joshua's camp. They flatter him, saying they heard about the fame of his God all the way back in Egypt. It was a masterclass in manipulation. They played right into Israel's sense of importance to get what they wanted, a binding league or a peace treaty. Now for phase 3, a fatal mistake, falling for the trick. Because, a con is only successful if the mark actually takes the bait. And take the bait they did. The Israelites got totally hung up on the physical props right in front of them. They tasted the moldy bread, they looked at the busted shoes, and they completely skipped the most crucial step of all. They failed to ask for counsel from the Lord. Without getting that divine green light, Joshua goes ahead, makes peace, and the princes swear an unbreakable oath to let them live. This leads right into phase 4, the ironic consequence, the 3-day reveal. Because every good heist story has that moment where the dust settles and the truth just smacks you in the face. And man, this illusion shattered fast. It took exactly 3 days. The Israelite army packs up, marches a short distance, and boom, they are staring right at the cities of Gibeon. Imagine that realization. They didn't make a treaty with some distant kingdom. They got totally duped by the very people they were supposed to conquer. As you'd probably expect, the Israelite congregation was absolutely furious, murmuring against their leaders and ready to attack. But here's the catch. An oath sworn in the name of God in the ancient Near East, that was ironclad. The princes knew that if they broke that promise, severe divine wrath would fall on them instead. They were trapped by their own words. So Joshua has to honor the treaty. He lets the Gibeonites live, but there's a serious consequence. Because of their deception, he permanently curses them to become hewers of wood and drawers of water. Basically, they became perpetual servants for the congregation and the altar. They kept their lives, sure, but they forfeited their independence entirely. Which leaves us with a fascinating dilemma from our explainer today. The Gibeonites traded their freedom for survival. It proves that while a brilliant deception might save your skin in the short term, a hasty promise carries an eternal consequence. It kind of makes you wonder, though, if you were standing in those ratty, patched-up shoes facing total annihilation, would you have done the exact same thing?